Jumping in 3, 2, 1.
Hello people of the internet, my name is Dion and you're watching Dion D Titanfall! I went ahead and bought myself an Xbox One, as I said in Dion D Friday, just for this game. I went all that length, and it wasn't the only game that I bought. I actually got Call of Duty Ghosts as well, but I haven't been playing that game nearly as much as I have with Titanfall. And initially, I didn't even plan on buying an Xbox One. I was thinking to myself, Titanfall looks really interesting. A lot of people are playing this game, and at first, I was sort of thinking that this game would be overhyped. It's the whole Call of Duty sort of scene, you know, it's in fact made by people who were involved with the Call of Duty scene. So, maybe it's going to be a lot like Call of Duty. And so I was kind of turned off. However, after falling into all the hype and just people saying that it's actually pretty damn good, I decided I would go ahead and buy it. So I went on my local Amazon.co.uk and I seen that Titanfall was an amazing £30, a lot cheaper than the 50 or so pounds price that it is on EA Origin. So I bought it on Amazon, played it a little bit, but I was thinking to myself, wow, okay, this is seeming to be quite decent. However, I personally love playing first-person shooters on consoles. Crazy, I know, right? A lot of people would say that they love playing first-person shooters on PC. It makes sense. I mean, the mouse is so much more... It makes more sense, doesn't it? Drop kick! But I just love the arcadey experience of first-person shooters, especially ones like this where you have health points and whatnot. I just love that, and the console feel of it. And just how, when I was younger, I used to play on consoles, but ever since I grew up a bit, I started playing on PC. Well, I just started to reminisce with my younger self and spend some of that money. And I don't regret it at all. I'm having so much fun with Titanfall. And all I can really say to you guys, to try and explain what the feeling is, if you haven't ever played this game, well, I guess the best thing to do would be to just watch this video and you'll get a pretty damn good sense of what it's like. But to explain it, it feels like it's like a battle between the small and the giants, and by the giants, you know, that's gonna be the Titans, and that's what I absolutely love. Like, you wouldn't believe it, but it brings a lot of team aspect play into the game. Unlike Call of Duty, where you're just running around in circles like a hamster would. You've got team aspects in this game, because fair enough, you can do a one-on-one Titan versus Titan, but as soon as you start bringing in more into the equation, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, whatever it might be, you gotta back up your teammates or try and take down the enemy Titans with more firepower. And, you know, although you might not have a Titan, you might be down on the ground, doesn't mean you're helpless. Like, look at that! I can rodeo that guy. I can just absolutely climb up and down him, find a critical point, start damaging it with my pistol. I love that. This game is just so exciting, especially when you get into these Titan battles. There's just nothing like it, and it's like a breath of fresh air in the first-person shooter genre. Now, I have to say that this is probably going to be the only video I do on Titanfall, maybe one of two or something like that, and it really breaks my heart that I say that, because I have so much fun with this game. But the only unfortunate thing is that I don't think that I have an audience that wants to watch videos of this game. There's a lot of hype built around it, and I think a lot of people playing it. I think so. I can't really tell sometimes, especially when I go on like Xbox One, and sometimes it struggles to find a game. But I just don't think that there's a huge audience, and also I'm not sure if people want to see Titanfall round after Titanfall round. Maybe it becomes sort of like the same sort of thing. So I'm using this pistol here, part of the title, by the way, the smart pistol, and damn, is it smart. You've already seen what it's been doing, locking onto people when other guns don't do that. And what I really love about this pistol is the fact that it's just so unique. I mean, what first-person shooter do you know of that you have to lock on with guns? And I'm sure you're probably listing them off already, like, oh, this game, that game. But unfortunately, I don't have a huge first-person shooter scope, so I'm gonna apologize right there and then. However, this pistol, I love it. So when you're trying to take out the AI, for example, it's only one lock-on. It's really quick, like that dude right there. However, if you want to kill actual real players, it's going to take 3 lock-ons, and so it takes longer. Now that is risk-taking there, my friends. What if you get in a close counter engagement? Not like this one, See that guy trying to climb the wall. I got enough time to lock onto him. 3 locks, he's down instantly. But what if you're in a close counter engagement? That's when it starts to get really, really finicky. But I don't know. Sometimes I use this as a normal pistol. If I'm too close, I'll just let all my bullets out as fast as I can. But the thing you have to do is avoid those head-on confrontations, like jumping on the back of a Titan and then ripping open some sort of hatch that exposes all the wiring and all those important guts inside of it. I think this is actually an auto Titan, as in nobody's actually using it. It's like an AI, because they tend to automatically just go into like a submissive position and then just let you kill them, and nobody was even fighting back, so I imagine that must have been it. And here's me going for my head-on confrontation. It's kind of a bad idea. It's not gonna work. Yes, try and take on a Titan, as if it's not gonna have any support. I'm a bit aggressive, you see. I like to go to the action rather than letting the action come to me. But what you gotta do with this pistol is, oh dear, be not so confrontational, as in trying to avoid the enemies head on. And when it does happen like this, you gotta just let all the bullets out, because you don't have whatever number of seconds to lock on to the enemy when they can just open fire on you with an SMG or whatever rapid firing gun and just knock you straight on out. But sometimes, depending on the pilot's health, it might be only like 1 lock-on or 2 lock-ons. It actually turns red whenever you have enough bullets to kill them in one volley. So sometimes it might be 1 lock-on if they've not got a lot of health, maybe it'll be 2, but usually it's 3 if they've got full health. Now, what I love doing, because your pilots all have different abilities. For one of them is a cloaking ability, and you've seen me doing this quite often when I can. My left trigger button in the lower left hand side of the screen, that is my cloak ability, and it allows me to just run around, well, cloaked. It's really hard when you're in a Titan to see me running around, but when you're a person on the ground, it's pretty damn easy. Well, apart from that Spike Eye or whatever guy that I just killed, even when I'm not using cloak, it doesn't even look like you can see me. Oh dear. The people and their sight, I just don't know how to explain it sometimes. But what I love doing is just going cloaked, get up behind people, run onto them sort of thing. Like this guy here, and then killing them. Although I kind of failed. Except, my Titan has something to say about that. How about just stomp on the guy I was chasing? I love that. Except I don't like when it happens to me, because it actually happens to me so often when I'm trying to take on Titans, because I'm so aggressive. I love just going to the action, and that means that there's a lot of Titans sometimes. I love just getting on up in there. But yeah, it's like an ant in the midst of a whole bunch of people. You end up just getting crushed. So what's happened now is that we've won the game. Victory for us. But unlike other first-person shooters where normally that would be the end of a round, you have X team that's won, Y team that's lost, and then you distribute all the points. It actually enters like a mini-game state where you have to, if you're the losing team, you have to try to get back to your drop ship, and if you do, then you get points, and if you get evacuated, then you can get like some rare burn cards. And burn cards are these like consumables that you can use. Maybe I'll explain it more if I ever do future videos. But if you're the winning team, your whole objective is to prevent the losing team from getting off the planet. So you have to basically rub it in their face, destroy their ship, and it can be a bit risky because everyone meets in the same area, but we ended up teabagging them by destroying their ship completely. They're not getting off this planet. They can only die. And that was it. What a way to end the game. I ended up falling to my death in a pit, but luckily it doesn't count. So, decent game overall. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. So I don't know what the reaction is going to be like. If you guys want to see more Titanfall videos, if you're interested, please say you are. If you're not, then please say you're not. And I'll take your guys' feedback on board. So until the next one, this is Dion, and I will see you guys later.